Welcome to another episode of the Forgotten Athlete podcast. This is your host, Joseph. I am back for football season. Right now, solo dolo. Zach could not make it today. But you know what? We're here, back in action, and we're just super excited to get football content back out there. Thumbs up? Yeah. Anyways, it's been a long off season. I got a lot of new viewers. Appreciate you guys subscribing, liking the post. We appreciate it all. Typically, I go throughout the football season, multiple podcasts per week. So I'm looking to continue that. And off season usually kind of hit or miss for me. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. There's a lot of stuff I'm doing that's not based on football. Obviously, if you don't know, I'm engaged. So like, there's stuff that I gotta do that I don't want to do, but I gotta make time for it because I got no excuses. Football's not on, and my fiance, she's great, so let's watch football every single Saturday, Sunday during football season with no interruptions, and we appreciate that. So continue to get content from me will be happening. I'll be more pumped up about it this season just because we got a lot more subscribers than I did last season. I mean, I think last subscribers I didn't have. I think I had like less than 5 subscribers. A lot of people I do. Now I got I think over 20 now. So we appreciate you guys tuning in, and we're going to look at bringing this up. One thing I will say, different from last year for people who have listened to me on my podcast and also my new YouTube page that I got here. I don't really focus on teams. It's just more about the overall group. But I did get a good reaction based off of the Caleb Williams video with the Bears. So what I'm going to do is start the preseason, which is week 1 of the preseason, which is coming up, the Hall of Fame game. I'm going to be doing a podcast based on the Bears. So I'll try to do that once a week, just based on solely on the Bears content, which will kind of be like probably like less than 20 minutes. But I do want to honor those Bears fans and all the other NFL fans who are so in love with this Caleb Williams story. And I think that we need to talk more about this because I think this is something that interests a lot of viewers. So that's what we'll be doing. Obviously, Caleb Williams Super Bowl videos. I want to talk about if you haven't checked it out. Go down and scroll down on my YouTube page. It's on there. One of my best videos out with my brother Zach on there as well. So we just made some hypotheticals, like what if Caleb wins the Super Bowl, and like we broke down like what would happen to the Lions, what would happen to the Vikings, what would happen to the Packers if this happens because of rookie waiting. A Super Bowl is so unprecedented in the NBA. I mean, in the NFL. So with that being said, Forgotten Athlete Podcast. Please like, subscribe. I told you, like I'm saying again, I'm super pumped up about this season. I think this is going to be one of the better seasons in the NFL that we've seen in a long time. Last year was great. A lot of excitement, from everything. I didn't go to a game last year, but this year I am for sure making it to a game, at least one game on the road, which I try to do every year. This year I did not do it. But you know what? We got topics today. And just pulling my phone real quick. I got my notes here. I got some topics. Some of them are football related, but some of them are not. So I'm going to talk about the stuff that's not football related. I'm going to say that for later, guys. I'll let you guys tune off at that end if you guys just wondering about the football stuff. But first thing I'm talking about is the NFL QB market being an issue. So recently, this offseason, we've seen multiple quarterbacks get paid. Most of the quarterbacks sign contracts. Joe Burrow. Obviously, the newer ones. Jared Goff recently, Tua right now, and then I can't think of the last person who just got signed. He just got signed, and it was Jordan Love. Sorry, I could not think of his name. And there's a lot of holdouts you can see. Niners have 2 players holding out. Patriots have Judon holding out. A lot of players are holding out right now. And I did some research. Salary cap right now is $244 million. Obviously, NFL teams have to spend a certain amount of money in that salary cap range. Obviously, most of them do want to spend that money. Some of them don't, but most of them do because they have the players that do it. Just Jefferson got a big contract this morning, but we're talking about the QB market real quick. I'm going to talk about the receiver market in a little bit afterwards. But I want to say this. Quarterbacks, there needs to be a new tier for quarterbacks. And I know the NFL is all about beating the next contract at every position, but I think we are getting to a point where quarterbacks need to be stopped because winning football games is not an easy task, right? It's just not. Make it to the playoffs is not an easy task. We understand that. We get that, right? I think the biggest thing that people don't understand though about the QB position is how replaceable it is. And what I mean by that is, as long as you have a good coach, more than likely you can replace the quarterback at the position. And I can list out multiple examples throughout NFL history, recent history, that can kind of defend that point. Just off the top of my head, Andy Reid with Michael Vick, going from Donovan McNabb to Michael Vick. Um, After Michael Vick was literally in prison a year before, months before he became quarterback. Even as recent as Jimmy G to Brock Purdy or Trey Lance to Brock Purdy. Um, Recent as Carson Wentz to Jalen Hurts. Honestly, we can even go Tony Romo to Dak Prescott. There, there are ways that quarterbacks can be replaced. And right now, we are at a place where quarterbacks are irreplaceable in the market right now. And this is not good for business, not good for the NFL fans, not good for the NFL teams. It's only good for the quarterbacks and their agents, obviously. And I think this will be causing a big issue this offseason, especially if Dak Prescott hits the open market, because he's going to get paid the most amount of money a quarterback's going to get paid in the open market in NFL history. His next contract is going to be the biggest contract. And the longer the Cowboys wait to either re-sign him or let him go, the bigger his contract's going to be. And Tua, for an example, Trevor Lawrence, I didn't mention him earlier. Trevor Lawrence, for an example, Jared Goff, even for an example, you can't tell me that Dak is not better than all three of them. Obviously, some may have more success than them, right? Jared Goff, obviously, in NFC Championship last year, more success than Dak, talent-wise, skill-wise, player-wise, accolade-wise. No one's better than Dak Prescott from the quarterbacks I listed. I think this is causing a huge disruption in the GM offices. Like, I don't know if you guys are watching Hard Knocks, which is a great series right now, off season. Hard Knocks, their thing was like, hey, we don't want to pay a running back this market. We don't want to pay a running back this much money. And I wish you would have got to hear about the Daniel Jones, because they skipped Daniel Jones on his guarantee, but the overall value of the contract was large. And I thought it was a pretty friendly deal that the Giants gave him. I think it was. I want to say like it was like 80 million guaranteed. I want to say, if I'm not right. If I'm not right, mistake, correct me. But I want to say it was around that range, and they can get out of it I guess this offseason if they want to. And Daniel Jones was coming off a playoff appearance, right? And obviously, you can say, hey, they had an easy schedule, whatever the case would be. These are the facts. They won a playoff game. They came up with a playoff appearance, and he got paid what he thought he deserved. And, well, I guess what the Giants thought he deserved. And I think people thought that this should have reset the QB market because, okay, average quarterbacks are getting paid what they should be getting paid, right? Fast forward to this offseason, there are just money's going out of the booth. Like, this is ridiculous. These quarterbacks, I think I read an article or a tweet, whatever it was, that said that these quarterbacks have signed for over $1 billion in guarantees this offseason, which is ridiculous. Because these quarterbacks aren't winning Super Bowls. These quarterbacks are not Patrick Mahomes. And I hate this argument because I've been saying this. I hate that I have to make this because I hate this argument being made. My brother does it all the time. But you're not Patrick Mahomes. Nobody is Patrick Mahomes. And until that guy gets replaced or gets overtaken, he needs to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. And you can see it right now. Patrick Mahomes does not care about the average per year. All he cares about is the overall value of the contract. And he's getting paid the most amount of money. He will be getting paid the most amount of money every single year, no matter what, or just overall value of the contract. He signed for half $500 million contract, $500 million contract. Like, he's going to get paid a lot of money overall over the next 10 years. So I think there's a lot of things we gotta figure out about the QB market. And I guess to kind of bring my point back to where I was kind of making in the beginning, we have to make it so the quarterback market is fair and that it's not taking up a big chunk of the cap space, which is 20%, 15% of the cap space, which is large for one person on a roster. Tying it back to the Cowboys offseason right now. Cowboys didn't do anything this offseason because they got to pay 3 premier players. CeeDee Lamb, premier player at his position, all-pro player. Micah Parsons, premier position and an all-pro player at his position. So when you got obviously Dak Prescott too, right? So when you got players like this on your roster and you have a limited cap, you have a limit in your cap space, you're gonna pick and choose which one you want to bring. And I think they're gonna choose CD. What the Cowboys should do is choose CD and Micah Parsons and find another quarterback. Because back to my original point, quarterbacks are replaceable. We've seen it. They've already replaced. They replaced Tony Romo with Dak Prescott. So we've seen how easy it is to replace that position. A fourth round pick, as long as you have the talent around them, as long as you have the O line around them, as long as you have the coaching around them, you can replace them. Now, I'm not saying this is easy. I'm not saying this is the easiest thing in the world, but they have the facts and from their past that they can replace a quarterback. And, I know going from Troy Aikman to Tony Romo to Dak is not the best example. I know some people are going to bring, well, you went from Troy Aikman to Quincy Carter to Drew Bledsoe to all these quarterbacks that were just bad, and then QB Carousel. So, or Carousel. So I just want to say I understand if the Cowboys do pay him because you have to keep the guy that gets you to 12 wins every single year. Like he averages 12 wins a year. Not a lot of quarterbacks are doing it, and he needs to make the money that these type of quarterbacks are making. So, I guess long story short, I don't really have an answer, but I do think that the Cowboys should not pay Dak what he's asking for because you're going to put yourself in a hole that you can't get out of. You're not going to be able to pay Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, and Dak what they want and build a successful team around you. You're just not. As great as a player CeeDee Lamb is, he's not replaceable. I don't say that. But as great as a player he is, I don't know if he's worth. I don't know if he's worth it if that's the only player that Dak can throw to. I just don't. Um, this one's tough. This next stop is tough. Niners offseason has been has its up and downs, and I'm not going to talk about the moves, the rookie moves, or anything like that. I'm talking about the contract situations right now. They had three players who were upset with their contracts and who wanted new contracts. McCaffrey, Ayuk, and Trent Williams. Trent Williams, we didn't hear anything about. McCaffrey, we didn't hear anything about. Like it must have been just internal that they were like kind of like saying like, "Hey, I want to get paid." Trent Williams, fast forward to training camp. Well, obviously, Chris McCaffrey gets paid. He gets paid. I think he gets paid like $16, $17 million annually from a per annual basis at the running back position, which is crazy. Maybe it's even 20 million. It's something crazy. Um, and he just got recently married. Congratulations to you. Um, but Trent Williams is next. But Trent Williams is not the story. I think Trent Williams is doing what he needs to do as a player, as a I think second best player on this team after Chris McCaffrey, maybe even the best for some arguments. He's doing what he should. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing, holding out. Like, he ain't gonna do that weak crap that Ayuk is doing right now, where he's holding in. Trent Williams is 36. He's earning enough money. He doesn't need to play football. The Niners need Trent Williams more than Trent Williams needs the Niners, and he knows that. Trent Williams has all the leverage in the world for him to be able to say, "Hey, you know what, guys, I'm done playing football." And the Niners are going to be like, "Oh, wait, hold on. Or what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? We'll get you what you want." Because that offense looks totally different without Trent Williams. It just does. And Trent Williams knows that. He has all the leverage in the world. Brandon Ayuk, on the other hand, as good of a player you are, we know how Kyle Shanahan gets down with receivers. You can be replaced. And if you don't stand in line and, accept what they're giving you, you're going to get forgotten about. You just are. And I think that is something that is easily possible to happen right now. I just do. I don't think that Ayuk should be the person that's holding out and or holding in, I guess that's what he's doing. But even Trent Williams, like no one knew he was holding out until training camp happened. Like no one was like, what the heck? Trent Williams holding out? What the heck? Why? And then you look at his contract, you see how much guaranteed. Oh wait, nothing's guaranteed for the for the remainder of this contract. Although like he restructured the deal, so he does have some guarantees, but it's not all of it. So now they got a lot to figure out. So Niners, if they want to make both parties happy, they're gonna come out. They're gonna have to have like at least $60 million out of pocket signing bonus. For like Trent Williams is gonna need at least 25, 30 million signing bonus. Ayuk's gonna need another. I'd probably say 40. Like, I mean, like his like let's look at the contract real quick, and I'm gonna look at my computer real quick just to kind of see where we're at. But like, let's look at the contract of AJ Brown's recent contract, right? AJ Brown's contract because he got the contract extension. $96 million guaranteed. $96 million contract. 84 was guaranteed. And what was his signing bonus for that one? Let's see. Sorry, excuse me for the no signing bonus was mentioned on here in this NFL article. Let's see. What about spot check? They got it. I'm just trying to figure out, and if I don't, and if I don't, yeah, the signing bonus was $20 million. Okay, so this is something Niners can work with. Hey, Niners can. If I'm Niners, I can try my best to match this contract that the Eagles gave AJ Brown because this is a fair contract for AJ Brown. Obviously, it's a contract extension, right? But I think what the Eagles did a really good job at is they gave them a signing bonus. His base pay is not the best, but his signing bonus is large. It's large enough for him to be happy, and the guarantees are high enough for him to earn. Obviously, report to camp, those type of roster bonuses that happen. So, this is good. I think this is good. I think this is a great structured contract that the Niners should try to copy because it gives him what he wants. It gives him, being one of the highest paid players. It gives him that $30 million average pay, I guess, around 30 million, 28, 29, right? And it just gives him a good amount of guarantee. Obviously, you're probably have to give more. You probably have to give him a bigger signing bonus. But this is a contract, and this is what I'm looking at, people. Sorry, but this is what I'm looking at real quick. Just to share my screen, I guess, with everybody. So what I'm looking at is this: the Niners or the Eagles gave AJ Brown um, uh, 3 year, $96 million extension to his current deal, right? His deal, I think, expired in 2026 or 2027, 2025, 2026, one of those years. And he got a new deal. It restarted everything, backdated all of it. And now he is pretty much guaranteed this $20 million, or sorry, $84 million over the next 5 years, right? So this is good because this is a really good starting point, and I think this is something that the Niners should try to model. Listen, I'm not a GM. I don't even know if this is possible. I don't know the Niners numbers. Niners numbers to me look like they don't have any money to spend, but the NFL is weird, so they must have money to spend. Give him a good signing bonus. Jed York, come out of your pocket, give him some cash, make him happy, and just get him back to playing football because this is getting annoying with Brandon Ayuk going on all these shows, crying about how much money he's getting paid. It's just not good for the team morale. So my thing is this: prioritize Trent Williams, right? I think Trent Williams just wants the guarantees in his contract. I really do. Like his contract is pretty screwed over how they restructured his contract. And I think the thing about when players restructure their deals, they're doing the team a favor. So like, I think the team has an obligation to do them that favor back and say, "Hey, you restructured our deal. Here's this for you. Here's this for you. Right here, you get what you want. Right." So I think teams know that. I think good front offices know that they owe their players if they do that for them, and I think they will figure it out. So I'm not too worried about that. But I think Brandon Ayuk is very childish. Bro, like we get it. This is the money to you. You're trying to get you know generational wealth. I understand it, but come on, I could leave there before. I know you haven't, but you got players who have on your team. So just talk to them because the way you're handling it, you're like a little kid who just found out that you know he can cheat on tests. So last NFL topic of today, and then we'll probably stop recording for the day. after my fun topic I wanted to talk about. Caleb Williams' confidence level. So Caleb Williams recently made a statement when he was asked, like, where's his confidence level at? Or no, he asked. So he was asked about his pressure. Like, does he feel pressure? And he said he does. He does not feel pressure. And I was watching a lot of talk shows, just off for recaps on YouTube and stuff like that while I was working. And I think we're okay with him saying that. And I just want to say this. I think Caleb Williams needs to. If I guess I'll just say this in short. If Caleb Williams does not, if Caleb Williams is not successful, he has put a target on his back where his naysayers are going to be in his face every single game, after every single interception, after every single fumble, after every single loss. He's just setting himself up for failure. And from what I've seen from him, the way he handles losing, he does not handle it well. And I think for him to answer that question, that he does not feel pressure, as long as he's prepared and as long as he feels like he is playing for everything. This is not college football, man. Like, you can't just run around and scramble and try to find plays and just throw it up in the air every single play. Like, this is not college football. You got D linemen running 4.3s. You got D linemen running 4.4s running at you. You got D linemen who are faster than you and who are bigger than you running at you. You have to depend on adults to block for you. You had to do that in college, obviously, but this is a different level of football you're dealing with. And listen, I've never played in the NFL, so I cannot speak on how difficult the level of football is. All right, don't take it as like if I'm saying like, hey, I'm speaking as a former NFL player, because I'm not. That's not what I'm doing. But what I'm doing is this: I'm trying to ground Caleb Williams right now, because right now he's here. He needs to come down here. He needs to find that median level of just some type of calmness, not cocky, but confident, not over prepared, but prepared. I think there's a lot of things that he's trying to prove, like he is like a veteran quarterback, and you're not. You're a rookie. It's okay not to know things. Like, it's okay to say, hey, I don't know what pressure is in the NFL yet until I face it. Like, I'm not gonna know, because you're going to get pressured a lot this year. You're going to have a lot of pressure on you because you have high expectations on yourself. And what does that bring? It brings pressure to complete those goals. So I don't think that Caleb Williams or even the reporters really questioned his statement too much, because if they would have, and if Caleb would have thought about his answer, I think he would have maybe said something along the lines of, I don't know where I'm at right now in terms of pressure in NFL until I'm there. Because you get to a new job, you get to a new field, you get to a new higher level of the same field, right? If you go from like I'm in sales, if I go from commercial to enterprise, it's going to be a different level. Obviously, I have confidence in myself to achieve the goal of enterprise level sales, but the pressure is going to be different because bigger deals affect the company goals differently than smaller deals did. So there's an internal pressure inside of you that you have to overcome. And I don't think that's a problem with Caleb Williams. I don't think that's a problem in general, but specifically with Caleb Williams. It's okay to have pressure. It's okay to put pressure on yourself. That's how you grow, right? Pressure makes diamonds. That's what they say, right? Pressure makes diamonds. It's okay to put high expectations on yourself, right? It's not okay to downplay those high expectations with me being over prepared or me being like, hey, like I'm a know it all. I'll figure it out. It just to me, it kind of gave me the wrong way. And listen, I'm a Caleb Williams fan. All right. You guys know it. I made a video on him going to the Super Bowl. So I'm not saying, hey, Caleb Williams, you suck. But what I am saying is that you got to think about what you say before you say it. Because this ain't USC no more. This is the NFL. It's only 32 teams, 828 teams. 32 teams versus 128. I think that's the right number for college football teams, the D1. There's a smaller pool. And the Chicago Bears, I love their fans. I love their fan base. They've won Super Bowls. They know what winning football is. They don't know what good QB play is, right? So they'll take it whatever they can get from you, Caleb Williams. But they know how to win. They know what winning football looks like. So I think you need to understand if Caleb Williams will be listening to me, which probably not, but Caleb was listening to me. Hey, Caleb, I love your game. I love your confidence. I love your swag. I love how you are prepared. How you over prepare. I love how the emphasis you put on, you know, game planning. Because you sound like a veteran corporate. You sound like you know what you're doing. But hold on. All right. Hold on, man. You are a rookie still. You can still learn, right? You can still grow, all right? And I think one of the things that also turned me off was like he had a question. Someone asked him like, "Hey, like, what are some things you need to grow from?" And he kind of took a while to answer because he was thinking about it. And he was like, "Blitz pickups. Like he needs a big blitz pickup, and he needs to be better at picking up blitz and changing coverages and knowing how to do hot reads and doing a lot of stuff that quarterbacks need to know how to do." And listen, that's a great answer. I think that's a great answer. That's the type of answer I'm looking for from a quarterback who doesn't know what he does not know. And that's the case in the NFL. You don't know what you don't know. I mean, we've seen great quarterbacks struggle in the NFL. We've seen Mahomes struggle in the NFL. So like Caleb Williams, you're bound to struggle in the NFL. Like it just is. Like you're bound to have a bad game or two. So even if you're not going 19. I'll just admit that. So all right, well that's it for the NFL. I mean the Olympics is happening, but like I mean I don't think anyone really cares too much about the Olympics right now. Kevin Durant, I mean, what could we say? I mean, he's just amazing, amazing. I got a fun topic though. I think I was listening to Joe Budden podcast, and I think Lil Wayne gets discredited, and I think Lil Wayne gets discredited a lot, and it's mainly because of his wordplay and his uh, entrepreneurship and who he is as a person, what he has done in the past, like going to prison, and I think him, being on particular drugs, affecting his health. I think a lot of that has impacted his legacy, and I don't think he gets the respect he deserves in terms of longevity and having a legacy. And what I mean by that is he started rapping when he was 13, 14, 12, and he's still rapping. Like Lil Wayne is nearly 40, nearly 45 years old, I think he is. I'm just Googling his age right now. I don't know his age off the top of my head. I'm not like a super fan. 41. He's 41 years old. And he's still rapping like he's 25. And it's just ridiculous what he's doing at this stage in his life. So I want to propose a question to the audience, and I'm not going to go on this topic for too long, just because I mean I don't really care to debate about it by myself. That is, whose run is more impressive, LeBron James or Lil Wayne? I think LeBron James has one of the greatest runs of a human being. Like he's doing a lot of things that like modern modern history wise, like he's gonna remember he's gonna be in history books 100 years from now. Like he's gonna be in U.S. history books 100 years from now. My man was a flag bearer for the Olympics. Like I he is he's beating time. Like people always say that like I forget what it's called because I've heard the term in so long, but like they would say something about Tom Brady. You can't beat time. You can't beat time. And LeBron James just keeps beating time. So I want to propose a question like whose run is more impressive, Lil Wayne's run or LeBron James' run? And like I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's easy, LeBron James," but like think about what Lil Wayne has done since he's been a kid. Like we found out about Lil Wayne when he was a kid. Like he was a kid when he started rapping. Like a kid, like a kid, and he had $1 million deal. Like he was showing up to school in a limousine in high school. So like I think we need to figure out. I think Lil Wayne needs more respect. So this is why I want to bring this topic up. Kind of want to compare Lil Wayne, but like I mean LeBron James. So I want to know what does the audience think, and hopefully we get some responses in the chat. But like, what do you guys think? Whose run has been more impressive, Lil Wayne or LeBron James? All right, that's it. Forgotten Athlete Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining. As always, like, subscribe, and share. And thanks for joining.